is Ikechukwu Nduku, your host, Diet for Professionals. Our focus in today's broadcast is professionals and their health. We'll be narrowing on a topic: how family health history affects your professional life. We're going to be reading a text from the Bible, the book of Job, chapter 8, verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. Now, a lot of families, maybe even to the third generation, you will see an underlying, traits or health traits that is similar. Now, if you see those health traits, some are positive while some are negative. What I mean by negative, you can see some diseases that repeats from year to year, from generations to generations. Now, if you have an understanding of your family health history, it's going to play a major role on how you manage your health as a professional. I will cite from a particular incident that happened. A young lady who was a teacher, she was doing very well, and all kinds of things going on in her career. She was doing well, and all of a sudden, at the mid part of her career, one particular day, somehow she would have been having those traits, but she didn't really maybe give attention to it, but there was an outburst. There was a psychiatric illness that, traceable to her family health history, and there was an outburst that day. She came out in the chemistry lab, started breaking all the chemistry apparatus there, and even started having access to some chemicals, almost caused accident even in the school where she works. And everybody was running away, and that's how she walked away, like that, was talking to herself like in a form of a lunatic way, and she walked away, and that was the end. Of course, the owners of the school authority wouldn't want to see her again, so they didn't even need to write any letter to sack anybody. She's sacked from there, except there's a kind of explanation to that. But whatever explanation you're going to give, at that state, you are unfit to work where people are, because it's dangerous, it's risky. You need to be confined. She didn't know this, but that family health history affected her career, and that was what happened to her. Her career ended. Now, you see, in certain family, there are some cardiovascular diseases that are traceable to their family health history. There are some it is psychiatric illness, some it is cancer, some it is the fact that they are diabetic. Now, you see, these underlying sicknesses or underlying diseases that are traceable to families must be checked. Now, some might not have instant cure, but they can be managed. One of the importance of understanding or knowing your family health history is that what it will arm you with information to manage your health at the early stage, so you know how you manage your health. Some basically, our body systems are not the same, but they are traceable to our family health history. So you know that people jump into the water and they feel free, nothing happens to them, maybe during a winter. But to you, if you do that, it might trigger up some things. So you don't behave like every other person do. You know your, health history, you know your family health history, and you know how to manage yourself. It helps you to reduce risk of developing health problems, because if you know your family health history, it helps you to develop, to reduce the risk of developing health problems, because you have that information. Then secondly, the fourth one, fourth importance is that, helps you to make health decisions. It helps you to make health decision. Apart from the fact that, if you do constant, you know health checkup, the doctor will always guide you. But if you already started being armed about, you know your health history, you can know how to manage your health. There are factors, very important factors responsible for family health history. I think you need to know. Now, one of them is genetic factors. We can't change our genetic component, especially in families, but we can manage them, and they become, when you arm yourself with knowledge, the knowledge makes you to, take advantage of what you have. Then the other part is environmental factor. Environmental factor, where we live, where we grew up from. You see, if certain families grew up from similar environments, especially country to country, state to state, and what have you. But you see, those environmental factors determine how we, adapt. If you grew up from sub-Saharan, of course, your adaptation will not be like someone who grew up from a very cold region like Canada. Now, the another factor there is your lifestyle choices. You notice that families are known for certain, lifestyle choices, especially eating habits, the way they eat. Sometimes too, some families worry a lot, and sometimes this worry, can even expose them to psychiatric illnesses. Now, if you know all these factors that is responsible for that uniquely, especially in your family health history, then it will arm you with the information you need to be able to manage your health. So in your career, you must check it. You must constantly do a health checkup so that you can know the state of your health at all time. At all time. Now, finally, preventing and managing family health history. One way you can do that is what? Through medical advice. So you have to constantly be connected to a hospital where you constantly go for medical advice anytime you notice some symptoms, because as you keep coming, you register in a hospital, they can trace your health history and tell you, okay, you've been having this particular ailment constantly. The doctors will be able to, give you an advice and say, wow, this thing is connected to your family, health history, or probably it's just something that just developed over time. So they will give you the medical advice on how to manage it. Sometimes in medicine can be curative, and it also can be what? Preventive. If it's the one that they need to administer that cure that will totally annihilate the presence of those microbes or diseases, the medical doctor will do that. Of course, too, even as they are doing it, they will also give you preventive advice, because preventive medicine helps you so that you won't need to overexpose yourself any longer. You already know your health history. You don't expose yourself, because certain exposure can affect your health. Then finally, spiritual advice. Like I didn't mention, one of the factors that is responsible for your family health history, but I'm going to touch that as we close. Satanic covenants. satanic covenants. Certain satanic covenants are factors that affect your family health history. Some families have entered some covenants with some, deities, and it has health implication. And that, health issue run from generation to generation. Sometimes it manifests in certain seasons. It manifests in certain seasons. Maybe you see some people, whenever it is a cold season, they start having psychiatric illness, mental health issues, and all that. But at this point, the medical way to address it will not be able to do that. You need to now trace it from a spiritual root and get a spiritual ministration or advice to be able to deal with it. Because it goes beyond just administering any drug or thereabout. You now need to deal with some demons or spirits that are responsible for affecting those diseases. So as a professional, you must know that your health is very important for you to reach to the peak of your career. If you don't give attention to your health, you are about to end your career. It can lead you to serious crisis in your career. You can see someone who is doing so well, rising, and you're about to get to the peak, and your health draws you back and the career ends. Don't allow yourself to get to that stage. Always do family health history checkup. Always go to your doctor for advice. Always get a minister or a preacher of the gospel or someone who has understanding in spiritual things to be able to guide you appropriately on how to manage your family health history. Thank you for listening to us. This is your host, Ikechukwu Ndupu, Diet for Professionals. For inquiry, you can chat us or call us on this number 07065400128. Let me take it again, 07065400128. Thank you for listening. God bless you.